Hello everyone, I am Rishabh from Excel Next Training Solutions, and to begin this entire Excel Next training program I will be talking about the shortcut keys, hand-picked shortcuts of Excel that I find you might be using day in day out. Now the best way to learn shortcut is to try yourself. What I'll do is refer to this list and based on the data that we have in front of us, use these shortcuts one by one. Okay, to begin with, now most of you would have noticed this 2007 bringing in the new ribbon concept. Now sometimes to increase the work area, I would want them to be hidden, collapsed. So I may double click on any one of the tab keys, it goes back in, double click once again, it comes back out. Now alternatively, I can use a keyboard shortcut that is Control and function key F1. Control and F1. If you press it once, it collapses. If you bring it back using another pressing of Control F1. Now this is the shortcut that I'm talking about. So every shortcut that I discuss, I'll color them with a particular color, let's say dark red. Control F1 for you. Let's say the cell that I am currently choosing, I want to color it yellow using a shortcut key, and I do not know the shortcut key how to color particular cell yellow. I'll be taking the help of a concept that has come up new in 2007, the concept of key tips. What key tips? Wait, if I press Alt key once and release it, you will notice some key tips appearing at the front of the ribbon, and these key tips are indicating one letter for each tab. So if I want to access Home tab, I will need to press the letter H from the keyboard. What it does, it gives me more key tips. So for example, the cell fill color is represented by H once again. So let me press H from the keyboard, and if I press the down, right arrow, left key, I can choose my desired color and press enter thereafter. So this is the shortcut key that I was talking about, pressing Alt, releasing it, and then following the key tips. Let's say I colored a particular cell green, and after that I want to repeat that exercise once again. So you may choose your destination cell and press function key F4. What F4 does is it repeats your last action. Now this can come in very handy even if you're working with charts or database formatting. We'll see in subsequent videos. So this is the next shortcut key, F4. Now F4 has one more application. When later we'll be delving deep into the formula exercises, let's say a formula like these 2 plus 2, or maybe when we will be referring to cell references, so let's say E4, we will be talking about a concept called locking or fixing, or in a more technical term, absolute and relative references. In which case, when after choosing the cell reference, if I press F4, it put dollars before column and row references, meaning it has locked it. Now the entire concept of locking fixing I'll discuss later. As of now, you may just ignore this for the moment. Now if you want to access a particular cell and see what is inside it, quite often you would want to do that when you are working with a formula. Let's say E4 plus 2. You double click on that cell to find out what the contents are and press escape once it is done. You can also press the function key F2 to get inside the cell, press escape to get out of it. Another shortcut key, if I want to see what is inside without getting inside the cell. Sounds contrasting? Wait. There's a shortcut key called Control and Backtick key. What is backtick? There's a small special character key just above the tab key you will find. If you press Control and that special character backtick, all these cells in the entire sheet will show the formula, will display the formula without you even pressing F2 on that cell. Let me press the same shortcut combination, Control backtick, you're back to the normal stage. So these are the two next key shortcuts that we discussed. Okay, The next shortcut key is about navigating across the workbooks. So to display the actual application, let me press Control Page Down, Control Page Up, and you will notice the sheets I'm able to toggle across. Give it a fair try, especially when you're working with the workbook which has so many different sheets. You'll find this Control Page Down, Control Page Up very useful. So these were the next two shortcut keys. Now to be able to discuss the next set of shortcut keys, let me press Control Page Down and go to the next sheet. I'll be talking about data navigation, especially when you have data sets. How do you navigate across this data? Case in point, I want to choose the entire data block given on the left. One way is if you choose any cell from the data block and press Control A, the entire data block is chosen. Alternatively, let's say if your cursor is at the first cell, that's client name, and if you just want to reach to the last part of this database, so you use Control down arrow key, Control up arrow key, Control right, Control down, Control left, and this is how you may navigate across the database. Okay, now next say you want to choose the entire data block. You may choose any cell from inside and press Control A. If you press Control A once more, the entire sheet would be chosen. Now let's say if you have a slightly bigger database, how Control A can help you, especially if you're applying a data sorting or data filter or pivot table. Simply pressing Control A can choose the entire data block in one shot. But it has one limitation. The Control A shortcut key has one limitation. Let's say if one row was blank and you had chosen, let's say, one of the names from here, let's say Titan, and pressed Control A, you'll notice it stops at the blank. Now very often you may be faced with a data set which has a blank, and if you use Control A, this would happen. So to overcome that, let's talk about another shortcut key. Let me start with the first cell, client name. Let me keep Shift Control pressed, both. Keeping it pressed, I am just for one time pressing the right arrow key so that it safely covers amount. Keeping Shift Control down, I am pressing down arrow key so it stops at the blank. Once again down arrow. In all these combinations I am keeping Shift Control pressed. Once again down arrow key. So in a moment's time I'm able to choose the entire data set. So that was there 4 shortcuts. One is Control A, the other is Control Shift right, down, 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 or if you simply want to navigate across, not choose the data, then Control A should be fine. Let me go back to my index sheet by pressing Control Page Up. So these were the shortcut keys that I had discussed. In fact, if I go back to data navigation sheet, and to illustrate this point further, let's say if I want to choose column E, you may choose to press Control Spacebar. The entire column will be chosen. And if you, let's say, want to choose any particular row, Shift and Spacebar. Shift Spacebar or Control Spacebar depending on what you want to select, row or column. Let me go back to index, and these were the 2 shortcut keys that we discussed. Alright, now let's say I want to increase, or let's say introduce one particular row in the middle of 2 rows. So you may press Control plus. Now to activate plus, you will have to use the Shift key. So Control Shift and the equal to key will activate Control plus. And if I want to delete that particular row, Control minus. That's one of the easiest ones, Control plus, Control minus. Now the next 3 shortcut keys are a bit obvious. Control C, the one that we use for copy. For cut, it is Control X, and paste, Control V. Now something that we'll be using very often in our discussions, that is right click, format cells. Now since this is used very often, let me talk about the shortcut key. The shortcut key is Control 1. So if I choose any cell and press Control 1, the shortcut key format cells will give me this dialog box. So these were the key shortcut keys. Do give them a good amount of practice, because believe me, you'll be using this very often in any dataset that you'll be working with. So Rishabh signing off, and I'll see you in the next video.